Hello, 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 and welcome, my Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, my crab cakes. Hi, hi, hi. Welcome to your What Do I Need read for this full moon in Gemini to new moon next in Sagittarius, November, actually last day of November to the 14th of December. I am your reader, Markangelo Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, the Archangel of Lyons, Markangelo Lyons. But you could call me Mal. Hey, y'all. Hi, my crab cakes. Oh, my crab trees, my Evelyn's. Oh, my goodness gracious. So here we are back again at another lunar reading, and you are the moon children of the zodiac. I was raised by one, so, my mom spent the weekend, got back from, drove up to Saratoga, saw my parents. It was wonderful. The new kitten is just adorable. Got my car serviced, came right back. I've been pretty much healing and working ever since. So it's really wonderful to be back here in the Cancerian crabland as it would be, because I love my Cancerians. That being said, if you're new to my channel and you like my work, or even if you just like the video, or I don't know, you like my hair, it is purple. I'm wearing a black velvet hoodie that my mom gave me. I was like, yes, I'll take that, thank you. I think it's a hand-me-down, I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. It's absolutely luxurious. So even if you like my sweatshirt, just hit the thumbs up, just give me a like, right? The more likes it gets, the more people who say it. It's just how it works. I didn't make the system, so I doubt I'm going to break the system either. But if you would like to, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. I'm shooting for, I keep saying it, 30,000 subscribers. So that I can do the membership thing. So if you feel like helping out, help out. Otherwise, let's get down to business. This is a What Do I Need reading. A 7-card draw. I'm pulling one card from 7 different decks of cards. We've got 3 healing systems. Carolyn Mace archetype cards being one of them. We've got 2 oracles and we've got 2 tarot decks, making 7 in total. Look, I even did math for you. Can we get up in this gig? Yes, we can. In other words, we are looking at not a timeless read, but absolutely a timed read. The waning moon, the full moon on the 30th of November at 4:30 a.m. So really do your magic. It's a Monday, so do your magic Sunday night or all day Sunday, building up to it if you like. Then this is an odd waning moon because new moon is on a Monday. Alert Nick Rhodes. But it happens at 11:17 a.m. Eastern and goes void, of course, at the exact second. So it's almost like, nope, you don't get new moon in Sagittarius. You're going to have to wait till 10:35 p.m. Eastern when it goes into Capricorn to do lunar magic, if you care about that stuff. I'm just saying, I'm a Virgo. I'm a Virgo with a Pisces moon. I keep my eye on lunar tides just for my own well-being, and believe me, the well-being of all as a result. So that being said, we are going to go through these decks to see what it is you need to, wane, let go of, release, transform, alchemize, forgive, or free, to free yourself from all that kind of stuff. So focus on your breath. It's a general reading, right? Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs, because you could get 4 different situations, one for your sun, moon, Venus, and rising. I mean, unless of course you have doubled up somewhere, you know what I mean, to like someone who's a Pisces sun and moon, God forbid. You get the gist. I almost said something I really was not supposed to say. You get the gist. So let's go deep. Take a nice deep breath, because already the energy that's coming in, it feels a little cloudy. So let's do this. Both feet on the floor. All the decks that I read are in the description box below. I think some new guides just showed up in the past 30 seconds. Let's do this. Take a nice deep breath. Well, hello, my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, I just need one Caroline Mace archetype card to represent, to signify, to point to give a clue, a tip, or a hint about this Cancerian collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Most dominant archetype that they need to deal with within themselves, within another, within a larger situation, all of those, any of those from this full moon in Gemini to new moon next in Sagittarius. What is the soul power being developed? The pattern being alchemized from lead to gold this full moon to new moon next. Lovely. You got the teacher. Now my mom's a Cancerian and she's a teacher, so I'm kind of familiar with this in a way, but maybe this isn't you. Maybe you are dealing with a teacher archetype in someone or a larger situation where you are being taught something. And it could be, like I said, any and all of those together. Now, the shadow is the stuff you don't want to look at, right? Even the emotional stuff you don't want to look at. I know I'm a Pisces moon. We got a lot of stuff going on behind the eyes and in the gut and in the heart. But the point of this, particularly why I use this very deck for the waning moon reads, is because lead has 3 more atoms than gold. So 3 things have to be what? Let go of, waned in order to do that particular alchemy. Lead being an insulator doesn't let energy in, gold being a conductor that obviously attracts energy. So there, I just taught, right? The teacher archetype in its shadow, manipulating or abusing students. We know that. How are you supposed to have you pudding if you didn't eat your meat? Teaching negative traits and destructive skills, which I had plenty of those teachers along the way, spiritual, literal, and otherwise, and I learned greatly what not to do from them. That's the shadow teacher. Then we've got the light attribute here, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. So it's ability to communicate. It's very throat chakra oriented. So, feel this out. Is that you? I mean, we're adding 6 more cards. We'll get more clarity on that. But whether this might be someone that you are dealing with, right? A dominant archetype with them. We do ask for the dominant archetype. So what we're going to do is Healing with the Angels Oracle, Drawing Virtue. We are going to find out what is the angel you need, right? So what do I need, read? This is the archetype you need to deal with and heal with. This will be the angels that you really do need to call upon to help with that, right? And they're not, there's only one angel in this deck named by name, and that's Archangel Michael. Every other angel in the deck is named by function or title. You'll see what I mean if you're new. Breathe. Here we go. My angels of water and the sign of Cancer, the Gabrielites, please, I need 1 card in clarity for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Who's the angel they most need to call upon for their help in healing? Healing with the Angels Oracle. This full moon in Gemini to new moon next in Sagittarius, November. And just into December 2020, you got the healing angel of nature, and I think that speaks a lot. Too many of us, we feel so isolated and cut off perhaps from other people. Now, Cancerians, you're known for being homebodies. We know that, right? 4th house, home, right? Like 1 word, home, right? Like the hermit crab, or the crab that really has everything inside its own shell, right? Otherwise, it's a fierce thing to come across, armored and armed, I guess you could say. But to connect with, and I want to say this in the right way, I mean, it sounds so DC Comics or counterculture, but to connect with the green. There's so many different meanings for that, but I mean, like the outdoors, like trees, right? To really connect. Now, of course, being a water sign, if you are an empath, you might be picking up on all sorts of stuff here, there, and everywhere. Lord knows I am. So I even, going out on my porch, I actually pray and meditate out on my deck. It's actually more of a deck than a porch. And connect with the trees. Very Celestine Prophecy, Chapter 5, Message of the Mystics. I remember that shit. Seeing the teacher. So that's an interesting thing. I mean, this kind of feels like you're dealing with a teacher, but you might also have that within yourself. And there's something about being a teacher, dealing with another teacher in the shadow, where you're really, like I said before, taught what not to do by their example and what they do behind the scenes, which I got to see in a couple of different ways. I'll just wait another couple of years. I put out my autobiography, Sex, Drugs, Rock and Roll, Metaphysical Tell-All. Because yeah, that's a thing. I've been doing this a long time, people. Psychic fair, schmikeig fair. Let's do Daughters of the Moon Tarot, shall we? Daughters of the Moon Tarot. What's going on inside of you? Now, it's got the symbol of the moon on it, so this is really more your yin, your inside. We're going to connect with, I've already connected to. the divine feminine, the goddesses, half the universal energy, whatever you want to call the ultimate divine feminine. I just call them by goddess names, like, for example, Hestia, Hera, Henricate. Please. Oh, my virgin, my queen, my crone. Please, I need one card in clarity for this Cancerian collective. Sun, moon, rising, Venus, sun. What's going on inside of them in their yin side world that they need to be aware of? Maybe need to heal, maybe need to just look at. And welcome for this full moon in Gemini, waning moon to new moon next in Sagittarius, November, December 2020. We've got oppression, half of the devil cards, feminist, matriarchal kind of base deck, so they don't use the devil, and I get it, I'm totally down with that. But here we have the aspect, sort of like the loose chains, except they are rocks piled on top of. I don't know if you can see her down there. You see her face there? So she's buried under rocks, but look at all the rocks. They're all people's faces, right? So this is oppression. It says it right on the card, oppression. So it is being weighed down. Now, again, I'm going to go with this, with that card of nature. You might need to be aware that you are picking up empathic flotsam and jetsam. It's a horrible way to say it, but kind of, sort of, right? It's like you're a water sign. You might be picking up on the resonant emotional fields and energies of those around you, known and unknown, right? Not just the people that you know, but maybe even the people on the other side of the wall, or on the other side of the street, or on the other side of the block, or on the other side of town, or on the other side of the planet, right? Right? So there's that thing of perhaps feeling psychically burdened, I guess sort of like my left contact lens, which I will take that as part of the reading. That for me, the left side is the feminine side, is the intuitive, is the, well, it is the left brain. It's the, regardless, that there's something here about wanting to see things clearly, but seeing things clearly as a result of chains of some kind. It just stopped. So what are the chains? What are the stones? What are the weights? What are the impediments inside of you? That's why I feel like it's flickering on my left, my yin, my divine, because hand you write with, it comes in this way, the energy, the hand you write with, masculine goes out that way, feminine comes in this way. So this is my feminine side, my receptive, my lunar, my goddess. This is my masculine, solar, and then this is Piper Halliwell, practicing that for decades. So there's some inner fear here, or like I said, it could either be yours or somebody else's. I'm just kind of getting that there's a real teaching moment here. And that's why you could see this whole, like, not just is it your archetype, is it another's, is it a situation unto itself? It could be that you're in a real teaching moment right now. And if you're feeling a little abused, you're not. You're being taught, right? You're feeling a little manipulated, then you're being manipulated by the divine plan, just like everybody else. Interesting read. What's that look like on the outside? Mythic Tarot. Nice deep breath. Yeah, my gods of water and the sign of Cancer, please. I need one card in clarity for this Cancerian. There you are, collective sun, moon, tickles. Sun, moon, rising Venus signs for this full moon in Gemini and new moon next in Sagittarius, please. What is this going on the outside, right? Because in the yang, in the masculine aspect, all pantheons are talking about the teacher archetype and its light and its shadow. The angels they need to call upon is the angel of nature. And yes, that might also have to do, by the way, thank you very much, with somebody's nature, like their true nature, not just about getting your feet in the sand or the soil or the whatever, what have you, a swamp. Oh, no, that's more Scorpio. What is with oppression? This heaviness, like the word psychic weight, and that has so many different meanings and so many different teachings from so many different teachers. You know, is it emotional baggage? Is it empathic residue, or like just what everybody else is feeling and you've identified with it? What is this? What is this on the outside? Can you give us from the outside looking in? Not necessarily a cause, but what's the yang part of this? Wheel of Fortune woven in, and so at least you can take that it's scripted. It's something that is woven in, the fates, into your experience. This full moon to new moon next. So maybe, I mean, you can look at it as a cyclic pattern, right? Like, so maybe you're in the underworld right now. Well, We're in Samhaintide, right? In between Halloween and Christmas, or if you like, Samhain and Yule. I know they're not exactly the same thing. We're in the underworld. So maybe you are doing shadow work right now, and maybe it's just time for that, right? To see, what is this feeling inside of me that is weighing me down or freaking me out? And it not necessarily may not be tweaked by anything on the outside too, or it might be a little thing like, I hate to use the word trigger, but sometimes the universe always arranges things. So if there's an emotion that's ready to be healed and released, it'll throw something our way to just trigger that exact particular emotion to come up and break. And they're giving me this to give you. It's a spell I wrote years ago. Break chains of illusion and set all things to right. Reveal what has been hidden and bring the truth to light. Good luck with that. It's not an easy spell. I know it's easy to say. It's easy to remember. It's not always so easy to endure what happens as a result, right? Because if we wanted to see, if we were ready to see the truth, I believe we would see it. So if we ain't, we ain't. So saith I. Oh, let's move on. All right. So, you know, that thing of the Wheel of Fortune, that's all I'm getting on that. I mean, it's 2 major arcana cards. You know, you've got 2 tarot decks, 1 card each. You have the Devil card, essentially, with the Wheel of Fortune. So it just says, if you're, that card of nature, why would you need, what would the healing angel of nature do when called, right? Particularly in a situation like this. It would really get you the support that you need. And if anything, this is really good. I love you guys so much. Help you focus to get to the center of the wheel, so to speak, so that it can all turn where you are grounded and centered. And I just have a feeling, by the way, that as you do this, you're teaching by example. You may not realize it. Like, we're all teachers, but what's the curriculum, right? Life's a bitch and then you die, or life's a witch and then you fly. I'm too old. And I was never really truly fluffy bunny. I mean, maybe for a hot second in the 90s. White pants after Labor Day. Oh, God, what was I thinking? Breathe. I mean, the Ascended Master chortle. The Ascended Master is working through the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, our second of the healing systems here, right? We've got the healing 2, this will be the second healing system, or 2 tarot cards and an oracle on the table. My Ascended Masters, please, 1 card in clarity for this Cancerian collective. It's a lot of alliteration. This Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign for this full moon in Gemini to new moon next in Sagittarius. What is the piece of luck that they need to be aware of? What is the piece of grace that they need to acknowledge is permeating everything here? What is the piece of healing that they need to embrace and implement? Or what is the problem that they most need to look at and deal with this full moon to new moon next? November into December 2020. Interesting. Self-consciousness. Now, what I like about this card, it is a problem card. Half of the deck is the suit of problems when I use it for the waning moon reads. It's good to know what the problem is. Well, self-consciousness, like the dude is like kind of on a day, right, walking into the light, so to speak. Hopefully not that light, Caroline. That's my mother's. Never mind. Look, you see, like, am I okay? Am I okay? Do I have spinach in my teeth? Right? That self-consciousness. But you could take this as well as self-reflection. Now, so being conscious of the self is very different than self-conscious, right? Because, you know, you get into the conversation of what is the self, you're going to be lost in that rabbit hole for a while, right? So it just feels like there's something fate and something destined that's going on here while you are dealing with this in these internal chains. In other words, I don't feel like you've done anything hugely wrong. I just think it's a timing thing, right? Like, some of the chains that bind us, our chains of fear, our illusions and stuff, are necessary so we don't jump the shark. Fonzie reference. Do you know what I mean? Like, the things I know now at 52 years old really would not have benefited me at 22 years old. I don't know, I was marrying my first husband at the time, right? It's like, no. It's like introducing algebra to a planet that hasn't even gotten the wheel yet. You know what I mean? Well, that's a bit drastic, but you kind of know what I'm saying. So this might be a timing thing for you to turn inwards, but get out of this thing that it's your fault or you've done something wrong. I don't think that's the case. I think there really is a healing thing going on here, and I do think a lot of it is empathic. I mean, people are using that word empath in such toxic ways. It upsets me so. I just want to kick him in the second chakra, but I won't, because that's not who I am anymore. But that thing of really giving yourself the learning curve, right? To go, I am being taught something. And if you are actually a teacher, then do know this is going to affect how you teach. Because you are transforming from the inside out, not through the death card, but through embracing the shadow work. And it's time. And look, if you're in lockdown anyway, might as well. Debbie Ford, shadow effect. Trust me. Wrong deck. Our last oracle, and then we've got our last healing system as the last card down. Whispers of Love Oracle. Let's see what's going on for you with your higher selves. 5th dimension and above. Take a nice deep breath. My crabs. The higher selves of all involved, please. One card in clarity for the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. I think I get what this is. Ew. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs for this full moon in Gemini to new moon next in Sagittarius. What is the piece of information, inspiration, or insight that the Cancerian collective needs for this new moon to full moon to new moon next? I got the teacher archetype dealing with the angel of nature, needs to call upon that, needs to be aware of the oppression within them, because maybe they're not. Maybe you're not aware that there are rocks holding you down, or and that can be the psychic weight of an empath, particularly a water sign. Right, like a sponge absorbing everybody's everything. That wheel of fortune, things turning, just written in. It's cyclic. It will pass for sure. It's part of the death and rebirth cycle, right? And with the Ascended Masters saying self-consciousness, there I do get this feeling. Yes, self-reflection is indicated here, higher selves, but also is this thing of like, there's this fear of just like being even almost a perfectionist kind of thing. But if it's about your own spiritual process, that's the spiritual ego. And be very, very wary of that. It'll get you to do crazy shit and burn you out, trust me. It's a necessary stage, though. It's like being a caterpillar before you get to cocoon, to get to be a butterfly. Breathe. So please, the higher selves of all involved, thank you for co-opting my voice box there. One card in clarity. What's the piece of information, inspiration, or insight they need? Whew. This full moon to new moon next. The only thing that is real is love. Shift your focus from the problem back to love. Look, I'm going to say it. I already said it in an earlier video today. I mean, you don't like her, I understand, but Marianne Williamson, A Return to Love, just go read the book or get it on audio. You can probably find it on YouTube as somebody recorded the audio book. I mean, the book came out in the 1990s. I literally read it in my 20s. But it was an introduction to Course in Miracles, and why I even say it or bring it up is that's the intuitive, the clairvoyant hit. But that's really a thing. That it really is the truth. The only thing that's real is love. Now, that you may not be feeling that, right, within those chains. So then what you're dealing with, of Course in Miracles says in its introduction, the opposite of love is fear, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. Now, that's just supposed to make you go, what? Go play it back. I'm not saying it again. Go read the book. It's right in the introduction, the preface, I guess that's called. Preface, no, the introduction. So to really get that, it's telling you exactly, your higher self is telling you from its 5th dimensional and above unity consciousness point of view, that's real, here's love. Shift your focus. That might be what your higher self is trying to teach you with all of this. How to focus on maybe not the best in people and all of that, but really, how can I redirect this self-consciousness into self-love? Because of the fear and the chains, that it's just time. It's just time. And it is perfect timing. It may not feel like perfect timing. It's perfect timing. I know, that's annoying. Trust me, I know. I know. Now my career will be destroyed, right? It's just, and it did. And it was fine. Not at the time, but it is now. My velvet hoodie. It's fine for me. But shit, sometimes you gotta go to hell before you get to heaven. Bingo, Jed had a light on. Don't carry me too far away. That's what I thought the words were when I was a kid. Millennials have no idea what I just said. Yes, it's ancient Aramaic. Breathe. my ascended masters, you who gave these Cancerians the self-consciousness card, please, my beloved, it's been a long day. I'm having fun though. I love reading for water signs. Please, one card in clarity for the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign for this full moon in Gemini, the new moon next in Sagittarius. What is it that they need? The perfect healing mantra from the Metcon Healing Mantra deck. What is it that they need, considering again the teacher, nature, oppression / the devil, the wheel of fortune, self-consciousness, and the only thing that is real is love? That's a lot for a 2-week waning moon period. So please, what's the healing mantra that would be perfect for them to take along with them on this journey? Dispelling sadness. Boom. Dispelling sadness. Dispelling sadness. I will feel better once I get the rest I need. Now, I didn't have to read that from the card because I've gotten this plenty of times, and can I tell you, it was always right. Even when I was like, well, I'm not sad, and then I would lay down and take a few deep breaths and just come water signs. Well, I'm a Virgo with a Pisces moon. Right? So I'll read this for you, but it's just true. The nervous system gets overloaded, and again, I think this is practically, it's like Matt Kahn is saying, yeah, honey, you're an empath, you're picking up stuff, you need to rest. And yeah, you're also a Cancerian at the holidays. Good luck, right? I'm sorry, I have to string cranberries. I have to, whatever it is that you do, I'm sure for your house and your family and everybody else in the neighborhood, although it's different this year, obviously. And maybe that could be some of this sadness too. This teacher archetype is interesting though. Don't worry, I'm going to put it all together for you. Dispelling sadness. I will feel better once I get the rest I need. When sadness dissolves, you are able to acknowledge upheavals of emotion as profound healings taking place. Now, just that right there, that is a level of emotional maturity that I think a lot of people, I'm not going to say they'll never arrive to, but unless someone presents it to them that way, I mean, I think once you know that, it's obvious looking back. I'll read it again. When sadness dissolves, you are able to acknowledge upheavals of emotion as profound healings taking place, but that's after it's been dissolved. So you have to allow it to, right? See what I'm saying? As a result, you are inspired to give your body the rest and rejuvenation it needs, rather than to push yourself into states of imbalance. And I have to say, come on, that's this. That's this card of oppression. It's the sadness, it's the psychic wave, but I'm telling you, it's not all yours. So giving yourself, just your immune system and your nervous system, time to reset would be huge. And you do that through resting, right? Your immune system does most of its work when you're sleeping. I had it on the intranet. Push yourself into states of imbalance. As you dissolve sadness, you become aware of the vital role downtime plays in helping you recharge your energy fields. And think of that word vital, like vital signs, right? Like of your vitality, how vital downtime is, particularly for the divine feminines, the water signs, the empaths, because if you don't, you get so tired and so edgy that you forget that you are feeling the collective. And then you act out on behalf of the collective in a way that's often unconscious. And afterwards you go, I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me. Yeah, call being crabby. Kidding, sort of. This mantra is ideal for dealing with depression, fighting against time, a big one for Cancerians, I know, and learning how to relax. If I just had a hot tub again in my life, it's so much easier. I have a bathtub, it's not the same. It doesn't massage me, it just holds me. It's a really, really cool reading, but let's take it, I'll do it for you in the blessing, right? Take a nice deep breath. May the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need. This full moon in Gemini, the new moon next in Sagittarius, that they may direct the self-consciousness in divine timing of the cycle that they are in, into the chains of pain, the fears that are holding them, that they may dissipate their sadness, feeling better once they get the rest that they need, in order to teach by example and to learn and take the teaching that's being given to them through their life experience, connecting as well with nature. And may they call upon the healing angel of nature, that it might restore them to their true nature, the true nature of their personality, not so much the ego, the nature of their divine self, as well as their home self, their friendly self, their tribal self, so that they can really get, they need to get that the only thing that's real here is love, and to shift their focus from whatever else is going on, their perspective back to love, for their well-being, for the well-being of everyone around them, in their home, in their family, in their tribes, and as well for all of life. So we're not just interconnected, we're all one thing. May they be so blessed, and may we be so blessed. So mote it be. And so it is. This is a tricky read, I'll be the first to say. I mean, you got the teacher, which indicates something going down. And please comment. See, this is what I mean about comments. Like, I never know how this plays itself out with general reads. It's like, are you the teacher? If so, just say, I am the teacher. This is what I teach. I mean, if your name's usually not in the thing, but I would be very interested to see what that is about. Anyway, please do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, you know, and all that jazz. Otherwise, wishing you a really, really lovely holiday season. I mean, Cancerians, I'm going to drive back up to Saratoga in December for Christmas. We've all been quarantined since day one. And it's just from Long Island to Saratoga. It's all in New York. So may you have the very best and the very blessed of this week, next week, and throughout the rest of the year. My Cancerians, my crab list, wishing you all the very best of it all. Hail. Farewell, and blessed, blessed be.